were tied, bottom of the 14th, two runners on, and I think it was just surreal. Like I was thinking, Vinny's hitting behind me, just want to pass a baton right here and get something going because it's been a long game and I want to get it over with so we can play the next game. So
You just needed a hit though, right? And you got a home run.
it was just a fastball left right in the middle and took a good swing on it and happened to leave the yard. So I mean, it was just a surreal. I couldn't believe what happened when I hit it, and I mean, round the bases, it was unlike anything I've ever felt before.
That had to be such a validating moment of your journey, your first year at TBU, your red shirt, and come to San Diego. And to be able to walk off a game like that for your team, it's what every kid dreams of, being the guy up in that scenario that goes and does that. That just had to feel so full circle, like, hey, I made the right choice to come and leave Texas to come to San Diego.
It was definitely a dream come true, and it was a blessing that, you touched on it. Like, yeah, that is the reason why I came to San Diego, for moments like that. Team moments, big, huge win that sent us to, the next championship game. And, I mean, the guys we were with each other the whole time. So, yeah, it was amazing, full circle, and definitely a highlight of my career. So,
hopefully they're going to be building more. Unbelievable season that you got to be a part of. You start 6-24. Apparently there was a saying around your team that you were the best 6-24 team of all time, which I think is hilarious. But then you validate that by then winning the conference in the regular season, ending up just one game away from punching your ticket into the tournament. But it leaves a lot of motivation for this upcoming season.
Yeah. And I think early on, there's a lot of things to figure out cohesive-wise and filling roles and, having leadership step up. And I think that was just a collective thing that we had to figure out, and just growing pains. We had a tough schedule early on, and I think just fighting through, the tough schedule and believing in ourselves that we are a good team and we can do this. And, conference is where we're really going to go, and I think we showed that. And I don't know, it was really rewarding that all the guys came together and, just a tight knit, and we got the job done. And it sucks that we came one game short, but I think that, it lights a fire in us for this next year. And, we reloaded, and we have a lot of talent, so I'm really excited for that.
That's what everyone's saying right now, is that the roster is very stacked heading into this year. You already showed that you could be a very effective team last season, but I think that as you kind of start the year, you probably can look at last year as a lesson, and I guarantee you don't want to start 6-24 again.
No. And I think, it's something to learn from, and, I think we've implemented a lot of things, learn from it, just practice and routine, and just how we're going to prepare for the season this year. And, I think preparation is big, so I think, it's something that you look at and you don't want to happen again, but it's not something that we keep in the forefront of our minds either.
Look at your game personally. Who's a player as you're growing up, you're playing the outfield? Have you always been an outfielder?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I have.
And so as you're playing the outfield, who's a player that you kind of look up to, that you model your game after?
Definitely when I was younger, Dexter Fowler. Like, I would get some comparisons to him just because they're switch hitting outfielders, center field outfielders. So, I mean, definitely when I was growing up, Dexter Fowler. I think nowadays I like watching Ronald Acuna and Lawrence Butler, and Jackson Merrill is always good to watch too. So.
Yeah, Law is an awfully fun guy.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things about Law that I'm a big fan of, I'm a big A's fan. One thing about Law that I really like is that the energy that he brings in the dugout. Like, he's a great amplifier. It doesn't matter if the team is winning, losing, if he's having a great stretch, if he's having a tough stretch. He's always the first guy off the bench to go celebrate any home run, and that's such a great thing to model after for any kid playing baseball, because his joy for the game never changes no matter what he's doing or the team's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like one of the things I immediately notice about him, like just the energy he brings to the field, the demeanor, like, and it's loose too. Like, he knows when to be serious and when some, important moments in the game. But I think, this is a kid's game, and you should enjoy like being around your boys and having fun, and pumping them up. Because, a word that we've also talked about in this program is mudita. Finding joy in other success. So I think, that's a good thing that Lawrence Butler displays. And obviously he's talented on the field, but he cares for his teammates around him, and they're his brothers. So.
How young did you start playing baseball? Were you a multi-sport guy, or were you always kind of just locked in on baseball?
Yeah. So my parents believed that my dad was a football track guy, so they believed in putting me in multiple sports, and whatever avenue I went down, they're going to support me. So I started playing baseball like 4 at the YMCA, just rec league stuff, and I really loved it. They put me in soccer, basketball, and those sports were fine, but I don't know, just something about baseball, like on a early on age, like just drew me to it, and I played football in middle school. That's when I started. My dad wouldn't let me play football when I was younger, just because all the injuries and all that, and he played football, so. But yeah, played football throughout high school, baseball throughout high school, and I just really fell in love with the game of baseball. I don't know, like I can't explain like how. It's just something I was drawn to, and really enjoy playing it. It's not something that's like a burden or, you know.
How obvious was it? How quick was it to you that baseball was going to be the sport, in the sense that, when you're starting to think about college, where was the moment where you realized baseball is going to be the thing that I really take to the next level?
It's hard to say at like 4 I knew, but I mean I feel like I knew at a pretty young age, like I wanted to take this as far as I could, because I don't know, it teaches you so many life lessons, but I mean I feel like I'm good at it, and I don't know, I love the game, and it's so fun playing. Like, who wouldn't want to do this, as their job in the future and get paid for it? Like, I don't know.
I say it all the time. It's probably still in my life the most fun I've ever had was playing baseball.
Yeah.
Like, it is it's cool. It's the only sport out there where it's a one-on-one sport, and so you get that, but also it's a team. I feel like it's a cool balance of being like pitcher versus batter, but also doing it with a bunch of your best friends.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think the guys make it, the best part. There's so many people I've met over the years that I'm going to have sticking around my life for a long time. A lot of teammates on this team that, might be in my wedding, and it's just awesome. Like, the coaching staff, 2-5, Brock, he makes things so enjoyable, and, he makes it to where you can talk to him on the field and off the field, and you really just have a personal relationship with him. I think, that is the special part about baseball. It connects you with a lot of people, and it's a small world, so I think that's what's awesome about it.
You talk about having a lot of life lessons from baseball. What do you think the number one life lesson you would say you've gotten from the sport would be?
I think I have two, really. I think the first one is having gratitude, just because I'm blessed to be able to play the game that I love, and I'm healthy, and having all these opportunities to go to a great school, get an education, and be able to play the sport I love. I mean, gratitude is the first thing that comes to mind, and I think like being able to persevere. That's another big thing, because you can succeed 3 out of 10 times and be in the Hall of Fame. That's a saying that goes around all the time, but I think being able to persevere through the hard times when you struggle. I had a lot of moments last year where I struggled, and there my teammates around me that helped pick me up, and then I had to go do a lot of digging inside and search like how much I love this game. Like, I'm gonna pour everything into it so I can pick myself up and succeed. So
I think what's very cool is in this program, one of the things that's very heavily emphasized is academics.
yes.
And how has that transition been? Because I feel like one thing in the USD baseball program that's exceptional is that a lot of coaches preach how you do anything is how you do everything, but in this program it's really practiced with the way that you guys are asked to show up in your classes in addition to the way you show up on the field.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome because the education here is amazing, top notch.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest struggle for me when I transferred in was not waking up for class every day, but just being able to juggle all the classes. Because at my last school, we'd be able to take classes online, and you can stay at home and do the class from your bed, but being able to go in person and really allows you to learn, and like you need to know the content, and there's no shortcuts, and that's a big thing. Like I don't know, the academics here I think it's the best to take advantage of it and get the most out of it, because you're not going to be able to play baseball forever, and baseball can be your life, but you need to have something after baseball that you can fall back on, and academics is a huge thing, and the coaching staff hits on it a lot, and a lot of the guys are very smart. So, and I don't think it's it's not like too hard of a task to achieve from the guys. So it's been good, and I think I've adjusted well to it.
If you look back at your journey, what do you think the hardest moment of this college sports journey has been for you so far?
I'd say probably the beginning part of last year. My first time playing, real college baseball games, and, learning the ins and outs of, just how a game goes, and, I think that was the toughest part because coming off a redshirt year, I watch a lot of baseball, I see a lot of baseball, but I think it's definitely different. Experiencing it for yourself and being, in it every day, the day in day out grind of, taking care of your body, each at bat, what the pitcher's trying to do, not taking any at bats off. I think that was the biggest thing for me, and it was so rewarding. Just I think it was rewarding watching a year and then playing a year. So. I wouldn't trade the downs for anything because I think, you got to go through struggles and mistakes to get you where you're at today. So
You can put a lot of ideas in your head, but it was the reality of where you were the second that you actually were getting these meaningful at bats.
yeah, exactly. And I think you don't understand the magnitude of it sometimes when you're sitting and, yeah, I wish I was in there. I wish I was doing this right now. But I think looking back at it, like, it was super rewarding having that year to watch and, see what those other players are doing and learning off of that, and then experiencing my own experiences last year and being able to, I saw the downs of, my freshman year when I redshirted of some athletes, and I think learning from that and building on it when I struggled this year, and I think it was great.
And what's the most fun you've had here so far?
I think definitely the conference tournament in Vegas, or just the whole conference. We were playing all the conference games last year. We were winning so much. Like the team morale was high. Like I don't know. Like we were winning games, and it's hard not to have fun when you're winning games. And then going into Vegas, like we were rolling, and it was we started. It was a tough start in Vegas, but I think hitting back again, like we're a tough team. We grinded through it, and that was a fun time playoff baseball. I mean, it's always going to be fun.
If you look back in 5 years, what do you think you'd want your legacy to be at USD?
I think, kind of like what we touched on earlier, being an upbeat energy guy, a leader that, the younger guys can come and talk to, and he's not going to push them away or try and, big league them, but, being like a loving, I'm not a huge talker, but I think, when I speak up and say something, I want it to mean something. So being that guy that the younger guys or just anyone in general can rely on to be there for them on and off the field. And, obviously, being a great baseball player is or just an athlete in general is something that people want to be remembered by. But I think, your character and the way you hold yourself is, a big thing too. And, that's a huge thing that I would want to be remembered by.
One more bonus question because it just came to me. If you could pick one person on the roster who you think makes a big impact that other people wouldn't know about, who would it be?
There's so many great guys on the team, but first that comes to mind is probably Cade Martinez. I mean, he's always so happy when I see him. He's one of my best friends too, but I'm a little biased. I mean, he's an amazing person. He's raised right. Always gonna have a smile on his face no matter what happens. And you're just a guy you can talk to all the time, and he's gonna have your back. And if he doesn't agree with what you're doing, he's gonna tell you like, oh yeah, like he's gonna give you the hard truth. But he's also gonna pump you up and be positive with you. And just a great overall guy, and I love him.